So, hi, everybody. If we have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Robin Shear, and I am on the board at the Michigan chapter of the National Speakers Association. And I'm seeing lots of faces that I know, some new faces, some friends that I haven't met yet. And I am just delighted that you're here today and would like to introduce to you. I should mention that I'm the co-chair of the NextGen Meetings Conference. That might be relevant for our meeting today. And we've got a really wonderful committee member who has a sexy radio voice right now due to some illness. But I want to introduce, if you haven't had the great pleasure of meeting Mimi Brown, this is Mimi.
Hi, everyone. So I won't be speaking. Robin will do speaking on my behalf. I have to MC our winter conference on Friday. So I'm going to stop talking now and let Robin take over.
Oh my gosh. And she was on a podcast today, friends. This is what professional speakers do. Are we right? So thank you, Mimi, for being here and for everybody for being here. So what I'd like to encourage you to do is jot down any questions that you have, and then we'll be sure to circle back around to your questions. I'm hoping to wrap this up within an hour, if not a half hour. So we're going to go through it pretty quickly. But I will also share with you the other questions that have been shared with me in various capacities, and we'll just see if we can all learn something valuable about the event today. So before we get to the questions, let me just tell you a little bit about what the NextGen Meetings Conference is all about. So you may have heard of speaker showcases, and those are very effective ways of getting speakers on stage for a short sample of their speech before an audience of people who are probably going to hire them or want to hire speakers. And if you know people in the events marketing space or the meeting planning space, you'll know that, they're always working several events ahead. And sourcing speakers is not easy for meeting professionals. And the goal of what we're about to do is to make it a whole lot easier for those meeting planners to find not only speakers, but amazing speakers who can capture the attention of an audience, who can hold the attention, who can deliver a message that's valuable and current and relevant. And the planners who are in the audience, will walk away with new knowledge as well as an understanding of what our speakers are capable of. And their wheels will be going the whole time as they think through the events that they've got coming up on their calendar and how our speakers might be exactly that missing piece, that last speaker that they've been looking for, or the first speaker for an event 2 years down the road. You never know. So that is essentially the goal of our piece. We want to put our speakers before this group of meeting professionals and give them the floor. Let's just put you out there in front of people who might hire you. The planners are going to receive the education that we talked about. So this is not your typical speaker showcase where you might just give 5 minutes of your favorite topic and walk away. We're actually asking the speakers to educate to some degree because the speakers are going to be covering one of the topics that the planners are going to get continuing education in. And we'll get to those categories in a little bit. But so we want real content. We don't just want you to be a pretty face and song and dance entertainment, which would be really cool. But if you don't do it without a message, it's not going to have any relevance. So content is really important here. It's not just about delivery. So one of the greatest things, though, is not only will you get to, be in that room and be seen by these people, you will be remembered by them. And it is a very connected industry, and they will refer you to other people who might be looking for speakers. So we might have 100 people in that audience, but that does not mean that your reach is going to stop at 100. Let me tell you, they are so connected and they talk about pieces of the industry amongst one another all the time. So it's hard to calculate how far your message will go or the information about you as a presenter will go. So keep that in mind. But to make it even juicier for the people who are chosen, we are having this event at a venue that you have got to see to believe. And there are links that we have put out, and some of the messaging will continue to do that so that you can see for yourself what this place is like. But it is not your standard boring space. It's not just a square with a curtain. It is a gorgeous venue. It's a premier destination, and it sets the stage for a level of excellence. And that is super exciting. And that again will make your speech, if you're chosen, something to be remembered, because the experience that they're going to have is going to be pretty bougie, if I'm being, super straight. It's lovely and it feels good, and the vibe will be so positive. And so it's such a premier opportunity for that reason as well. And one of the partners that we are working with is called Creative Day Technologies. And I do encourage you to write them down, go to their website, and check out the types of stages that they have built before. Creative Day Technologies. Because, oh, thanks for the links, Mimi. Bless you, girl. So she's got a link in the chat for St. John's Resort, which is where we're having the event. So check that out. And Creative Day is in the chat now as well. And oh my gosh, they are going to bring a full LED wall to put on stage behind our main stage speakers. And the speakers get to choose what the graphics will look like during their presentation. Their names will be really huge, their titles will be there. I mean, it is going to position you as an authority in this space. And to make it extra juicy, you're going to walk away with professional video of your entire segment. So if you're a keynote speaker and you're on stage for a half hour, you're walking out with a half hour of footage on that stage in front of that room. So in addition, we're going to get a professional still photographer, going to cover you from different angles. You're going to have so many materials to utilize outside of this event. You can do anything you want with those. You can chop it up and put it into your reels. You can make it available when a planner wants to see a whole gig, which sometimes they want to do beyond a reel. So it's limitless. You can put it into an AI software that can chop it up into 30-second reels and put the text on there for you. But this is an asset that I can't overstate the value of. That video you could use for years, and the photo. I don't want to neglect the photo, because we all know, when we're asked for event photos, so often all we've got are the pictures people have taken on their phones. They've been gracious enough to send to you. They're crappy, they don't position you. You had a great experience and you delivered so much value, and you look like you're at the Holiday Inn. And so this is not going to be that. You are going to walk out with some professional photos that are absolutely gorgeous. So I can only imagine how you're going to use this list of assets. So in addition to that, though, you will get to stay at the conference for 2 days if you choose to do so. You will not speak both days. You'll speak one day or the other, but you're welcome. And as part of your benefits package, you have a ticket to stay for both days of this conference. So you can only imagine the types of conversations that you will be privy to having in the hallway or at the dinner or whatever, in addition to specific conversations that we're going to make sure you get to have at your own networking table at the event. So we're not going to make it hard for people who are interested in you to find you. You can have your own dedicated space. You can bring your handouts, you can bring your cards, whatever, any marketing materials that you want, so that you can continue that conversation long after this event ends. That will be included as well. And because preparation is so key, we are going to bring a world champion of public speaking to NSA Michigan in May. And he is going to spend an afternoon coaching all of the speakers who are chosen to participate in NextGen. And he's going to give you time in the chair to just share part of your story. And he's going to help you to understand ways to tell it better, more impactfully, quicker, more humor, whatever, but in a way that positions you as a speaker to remember. So that is a huge value add. I'm super excited about that. We're also going to have a call for all of the speakers. That's going to be some training. It's going to go over all the specifics, answer the speakers' questions, introduce you to our other partner, who I also strongly encourage you to check out. Kim Corcoran of Destination Michigan is leading the charge. She is an event planner like none other. She is so talented If you haven't met Kim, you're going to want to do it. Just introduce yourself to Kim before anything happens because she is a delight and she's so knowledgeable about events. And so every conversation that you have with her, you walk away with something useful. And because she's been in the industry for so long, she knows everybody in the whole community and they will be on her list and she will be inviting them to come to this event. And she has used her expertise and her experience to negotiate this beautiful venue, this stage, all these pieces. She is putting that together. So she's doing the event, we're doing the speaker selection, and then Creative Day is doing all of the production. So you can see that this is a huge partnership that will benefit the partners as well as all of the people in the room, and then it will go beyond that. And so, we really see this as something that could have value in your career for years to come. Because as you know, speaking is a long game, right? You might meet somebody now and stay in communication with them, and they might not hire you for 3 years. And all of a sudden, they're planning an event, and you will come to mind because they saw you on that stage and they will remember how you brought it and what you said. And they're going to want to bring that 3 years down the road, 4 years. It's hard to say, but the potential spinoff benefit from this is really endless. And there was a story, if you're on the NSA Michigan email list, if you're a member or you've been in the system for a while, there was a story that was shared in a newsletter just a couple of days ago. And I'll just reference that really quick. I'm trying to remember the exact details, but it was talking about we get the value of the video and the photo. We can add that up. We know how much that costs. Like it's not uncommon for a speaker to hire a videographer to come to a venue like this for $1,000. That is not unusual at all. So we know that. We know how much the photo costs. We know how much the coaching costs. We can really nail those things down. But the one piece that's harder to quantify is being in the room on the stage with that audience. And in an effort to do that, one of our members took a look back at a similar speaker showcase, similar sort of. It was a couple of years ago. And it was similar in the fact that the audience was very similar. It was a large group of events professionals from around the state of Michigan, basically the same audience. And the speaker was given 10 minutes. Just that was it, 10 minutes. And that speaker went all in, every minute mattered. It wasn't wasted. Those 10 minutes were utilized fully, and there was engagement and excitement and a message that was memorable. And in the last couple of years, as a result of those 10 minutes in that room, that speaker has booked over 13 speaking engagements that have tied back to those 10 minutes with those people. And I think that it said the number of people that were in the audience as they added up those 13 engagements, it was like 3,000 people have heard that speaker's message now. And that's what it's about, right? You have a message and you want to get it out there. And so whether you are selected for a 10-minute spot or a 45-minute spot, it's irrelevant. Give it all you've got. Don't miss a beat. And wait and see how nurturing those relationships after the fact can pay off for years to come. So how to quantify the value on that is impossible. So let me tell you a couple of things about the cost, because we are talking money, and I know that's going to be everybody's question. And if you haven't seen the write-up, we will put a link in the chat to the full write-up of the event, and you can read these details again and again, and it's our landing page. And Mimi, if you don't have that, I've got it, so just let me know. But so the costs. If you are not already a member of NSA Michigan, even if you live in another state or another country, as one of our favorite people on the call currently does, you can be a member of NSA Michigan. And the coolest thing is speakers who have done this for a while understand that joining a chapter for $150, which is what the cost of NSA Michigan costs, that's nothing for the value that they get, that we all receive. And so if you aren't a member of NSA Michigan, you're welcome to join, even if you live elsewhere. And you will have access to 6 virtual seminars specific to speaking businesses for that $150. That's just part of what members receive anyway, separate from this event altogether. So that's pretty awesome. And those have covered everything from speaking reels to one sheets to booking more business to writing books, all of the things. So just keep that in mind when you're hearing these dollar signs add up. 150 to join the chapter gives you a lot. To apply for this illustrious opportunity, the application itself costs $50. So it's a $50 application fee. It's not refundable. The money goes toward professional development of speakers in Michigan. We're a nonprofit, and so it helps with the cost that we have for running this association. So that's the initial startup cost. Many of you are members already, and you don't have to, spend the 150 to join the chapter. But what happens next? If you are selected, you will get all the benefits that we just listed. And I know that we added up the cost and we estimated at least $4,000. And that's no joke in those benefits. And that is separate from the cost of being on that stage in that room with those people and who knows how that's going to spin off into money. But at least a $4,000 package, the value. But the cost is only $699 because we were able, to split this between our 15 speakers. And so they are covering the video cost and the photo cost, etc. And so it's wonderful because everybody's cost goes down. So not only is it going to be an amazing setting for video and something you can use for years, but the cost is going to be so much less than what it would be if you were to book a place like this, hire your own photo and video, hire Craig to coach you, etc. So I hope that you can appreciate how excited we are about this cost. We worked hard to get that cost to where it is. Let me tell you, we had so many phone calls because we understand that life is what it is. And so this is such a deal. So very excited about that opportunity. There will be 15 slots. So we'll have room for 3 keynote speakers who will each speak for 30 minutes on the main stage. We'll have room for 5 TED style speakers, each doing 10 minutes, also on the main stage. And then we'll have room for 1 MC who will cover both days, introducing people, keeping things moving on the main stage. That's 1. And we'll have room for 6 breakout speakers. And those are going to be more workshop style, so think about your business model. Those are 45-minute slots, those breakout sessions, and we will have 6. And it's going to be hands-on, and there will be, we need activities, we need exercises, we need the people in the room to walk out with skills that they didn't have or knowledge that they didn't have, something that they can put to use Monday morning. And so we will have 6 people who will do those 45-minute breakout sessions. So it adds up to 15. We have gotten applications already. They've been coming in. And so applications are going to be due really soon. Don't sleep on it. These are due on March 26th. So we're talking 3 weeks at this point. They will be required to be on video. What we're asking for is a 5-minute and not 5-minute and 1 second. If it's over, it will not be viewed. You are disqualified if it's over 5 minutes. That is so important that you hear, and that's in writing as well. So a 5-minute video, show them what you got. Give it all you have. It can be a video that you already have that shows how audiences are captivated by you. It can show you doing your thing. Or you can film one right now. You can film one on Zoom. You can, do it any way you want. You can do an older topic. You can do a topic that you might use if you're chosen for NextGen. There are a number of ways that you can handle that video, but put time into it because we're going to bring judges in who are going to take a look at this and, given your video and how you captivate an audience, as well as what you write about in the written application, what your topic would be, what your learning objectives would be, what would the audience learn from your session, what's a short description of the topic itself, what will people receive? Beef it up, like give it all you can. in the time and allotment that we provide. And our judges will, have a rubric that they're going to work with, and they're going to score those. That will all be done virtually, so no in-person auditions necessary. And our judges are going to be comprised of past presidents of the National Speakers Association. These are people who know speaking. They're up there, and so they'll be fantastic judges. In addition to that, we are going to have judges who are hiring speakers. These are meeting professionals who are in other states that won't know the applicants. That will help with, keeping it ethical, keeping it fair, but also think about this. Let's say we have 3 judges who are meeting planners, and they're watching all these videos. They're going to have access to your name, your contact information. You might get a gig just because you auditioned, even if you don't make it onto the stage. Because again, we're putting you before people who could hire you. I mean, the value is so cool. So that's who will judge it. We will announce the people who are selected by April the 9th in an email. We will also announce to everybody, we'll send an email to everybody who applies by April 9th so that you know. There will be a training call that I mentioned. There will be a tech rehearsal. The event itself is June 2nd and 3rd in Michigan. And we're trying to make it so that the tech rehearsal takes place in the morning of June 2nd, because we know people will have to travel. It may have to take place the night before if that's what the producer needs it to look like, but we're trying to get it the day of. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. I'm trying to think of what I haven't gone over. Let me tell you what questions have come in, and you can see if any of this information is helpful to you. Is this helpful so far? Okay, good. I'm so glad. Okay, so people have asked, do I have to join NSA Michigan? The answer is yes. I hope you understand the benefit of that. Again, even if you're not chosen, you're a member and you have access to those 6 virtual seminars, and it's a great networking with other speakers, and speakers refer speakers. So don't sleep on those benefits. Okay, the categories, what do I talk about? How do I make my talk relevant to meeting planners? I'm not a meeting planner. I don't know what meeting planners need to learn. Okay, there are categories that outline the descriptions essentially, and these are all in writing. I can read these to you really quick right now, and just know that all of this is on the landing page as well. So if you have any questions, this will be there also. Let's see. I am not finding that. Okay, I'll come back to that. But basically, while I'm looking, let me just tell you, and Mimi, if you want to interrupt me, go ahead. I don't know if your voice will let you, but okay, here they are. So essentially, if your topic is about people, if it's about leadership, if it's about sales, if it's about making more money, or things like HR related topics, or motivational type topics, things about corporate culture or strategy. Those are all things that most of us cover in one way or another. And I know there are others that would also, fit, but consider how you could take your topic, your general concept, and tweak it to fit one of these categories. Okay, so there, I think, are 9, and I'm
Yeah.
going to read them to you. Yep. So strategic planning. The description says this involves the development of meeting or event objectives that align with organizational goals. So developing like the objectives that align with the goals. If you're a speaker on goals, you're in, right? You could easily tweak your material to fit that. You could check that box and apply. And you might check several boxes, which is fine too. Another category is project management. This encompasses the application of processes, methods, skills, and knowledge to achieve specific project objectives. Again, it's about, strategizing and, thinking about organization. A lot of us speak on those types of topics. Risk management. That's another whole category. So this focuses on identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks that are associated with meetings or events. Okay. Financial management. Here comes the money. So pertains to budgeting, financial planning, and fiscal oversight of meetings or events. This stuff is all Googleable. Like you could hop on ChatGPT and ask questions about what are some of the financial struggles that today's meeting planners are facing? And let's see what ChatGPT spits out topic-wise and how you then can take your topic and work it in. Hopefully that helps. Okay. We've also got human resources, and a lot of speakers' topics would fit into this category. Involves managing the personnel and staffing aspects of meetings or events. There's a lot that you could play with regarding the people. Stakeholder management is another category. It says centers on identifying and managing relationships with all of the parties involved in or affected by the meeting or event. So all of the relationships and the different ways that collaboration works and how does change fit in, right? You can kind of imagine where that could go. Meeting or event design relates to the creation of the event experience itself, including program content, the environment, and attendee engagement. That's a big one. You know, we keep seeing these trends in meetings and how they want more attendee engagement and they want more interactive activities. They want them to be immersive, you know, so that might be something that you talk about. That would fit really well with meeting or event design. Site management, there's only two left. Site management says involves selecting and managing the physical location of the meeting or event. The last one is marketing. A lot of us go there, right? So it pertains to promoting the meeting or event to attract and engage the target audience. So I don't want that to hold anybody back. You do not have to be an expert when it comes to educating meeting planners as much as you need to be able to take your message and make it fit into one of those categories and give them information that, you know, would be valuable for them to have. So, okay. Oh, Mimi, you're so amazing. Thank you for putting all that in the chat. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. A couple more questions that were asked already. Does my video have to be on my topic? Let's say you have never covered any of those things or anything similar to those topics, and you don't really want to send in an old video because you want to show what you could cover on sales, for example. You could most definitely shoot a new video. And we do encourage you to do that. And here's why. You can send an old video, yes. But let's say you do the research and you shoot the 5-minute video and you learn something super valuable while you do that. You know, you're going to use that way beyond this event. Anytime you're working with meeting planners, that information that you just did will be utilized in your own business. So if you have the time and you've got 3 weeks, I would suggest strongly make your video on the topic that you would present if you were chosen, or at least partially, right? If that makes sense. But let this work for you. Absolutely utilize this in ways that enhance your speaking business. Think about how you can utilize this time that you'll be putting in beyond our event. What does CMP mean? So there are CMP credits given to the attendees, and that stands for the Certified Meeting Professional. Not every event planner has earned the CMP designation, but those who have and who have undergone the training and the testing have to get continuing ed. And so they will walk out with credits because of this event. So that's what CMP is, Certified Meeting Professional. Okay, the hot seat coaching. So on May the 10th, we have our standard NSA monthly seminar. And we're bringing in a wonderful guy. He's coming in, his name is Craig Valentine, and he's coming in to talk to us about all kinds of things. And that's the morning session. That's our regular monthly seminar in the morning. The PM session after our lunch will be for our selected speakers to get the coaching from him. And remember, he was the world champion of public speaking. And so his insight will be so invaluable. If you apply and you're not chosen, or you don't apply and you're a member of NSA and you would like to come to that session and listen in and learn along, you may most definitely do that. And we encourage that. And if you're not in the state at the time of that call on May the 10th, We offer virtual opportunities. It's a hybrid meeting. And so we are going to test the technology to be 100% sure that we can do hot seat coaching virtually. I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to do that, but we have our next seminar in person on March 22nd. And so we're going to test that technology at that time. And so we will share that with you if you're concerned about that piece. So absolutely planning to make that an option for people who can't get to Michigan on May the 10th. And oh, somebody wanted to know where today's meeting will be recorded and posted. If you want to watch this again or send it to somebody, what we're going to do with this is we're going to email it to everybody on the NSA Michigan email list. We are going to post it on that landing page that Mimi put in the chat. And we are also going to put it on, well, lots of social media. We'll post it all over social media. And then when you go on the NSA Michigan website, which is nsamichigan.org, you can click on lots of events. And when you click on the NextGen Meetings Conference, it will take you to a small write-up and it will be posted there. So lots of places. If you forget that and you can't find it, just reach out to me or Mimi and we'll be happy to send it over. Oh, that's what I have. Looks like we've got some questions in the chat. Mimi, I don't know if those have already been answered.
So Josie Ann has a question.
Okay, let's see. Go for it, girl.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
I have been paying very good attention, but I feel like I have a very stupid question at the same time. So,
okay.
On these topics, they're all, I feel so stupid asking them. They're all related to events. Now, is that the generic event? Like, am I tailoring a human resource thing about how to manage putting on an event? Like, I'm just confused about what that layup means to that.
No, I mean, you want to try?
Yeah. So Josie, and one of the reasons, as she mentioned, they're getting CMP credit for this, or like CEU credit for all the meeting planners in the room if they choose to apply for it. So the goal is to make sure that your presentation can fit into one of those buckets. So if you are, like, as an example, finding, I don't know, human resources, right? So is there like a leadership topic that would fit into the human resource bucket? Maybe it's, I've seen people deliver stuff on disc because they can talk about how utilizing the disc method can help them staff meetings better or events better. You just have to be able to make the connection between how your topic can somehow fit into that bucket for them. And it might be a structure. I would recommend, and Robin and I have kind of talked about this, is maybe throw it into ChatGPT to help it, or into AI to help it, like, to massage it a bit. But they need to be able to send, and essentially it's making sure that your learning outcomes are connected to one of those categories.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not specifically around the meeting that you're trying to do this to help the meetings industry, quote unquote, but we need to make sure that it aligns with one of those categories.
Okay.
I don't know if I confused you more, or that was
helpful. No, you didn't confuse me. It just seems pretty rigid for
I mean,
it's very specific.
Yeah,
like,
they're very specific.
I'm sorry. It seems very rigid for the investment. Like, I get all the takeaways we're getting from it, but to invest that much to have video that we have to massage what we would speak to one group seems a little too rigid.
I see. Okay. I see. Can I speak to that? Is that okay, Mimi?
Absolutely.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt. Yeah, I understand that. And here's something to consider. How might the message be utilized beyond this event? My thought is, because the topics that we speak on are general enough, it doesn't mean that you have to make every single word apply to the meeting planners, but the general concept has to be meaningful to them. And the good news is, so often that's meaningful to other groups as well. You are specifying it to the meeting planners like you would at any speaking engagement, right? You've got like a core message and then you customize it because of a room full of firefighters, for example. But the core message is utilized elsewhere. And so that's what I would encourage you. Like, think about, generally speaking, what message might work beyond this audience, and then tweak it add some things that are of value specifically to the meeting planners. And again, don't neglect that any prep that you do will probably be used later, just because you're going to have some insight knowledge of what it's like to be a meeting planner because you've researched it. So then when you go pitch yourself for other speaking engagements, you'll be able to speak their language and sound like somebody that they would want to work with because you get it. So that's really a benefit. I hope that helps.
This might be helpful too. So the reason, so CMP is under the Meeting Planners International. I don't know how many folks on the call are aware of what Meeting Planners International, but it's an international organization. They have something every year called WEC, which is their huge event. In the chat, I'm going to actually throw in a link to WEC. Every speaker that speaks for WEC can fall into one of those 9 categories. And so that might give you an idea of how people are framing their talk so that people can get credit for, because it's through the lens of the meeting planner, but not, I don't want you to think of it as super rigid, because I've spoken for MPI groups, and I've done something on DISC. I had someone who had a motivational talk about getting into 2 airplane crashes, and they were able to make the connection. You just have to make sure that your objectives align to that category in some way. So let me throw in the chat, I'm going to throw in information about MPI that might connect the dots for some folks, if that's helpful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for that great question, Josie. And Mimi, when you do that, would you make sure that that is posted for everyone? Because it looks like, I was reading the chat, and it looks like when you posted all the categories, it came only to me. So if you could copy and put that into everybody, I kept trying. I couldn't figure out how to copy and paste it.
Sorry, I'm doing too much. Okay, I got it.
You're doing great. So yep, we'll be sure that we all have access to that. Looks like Tracy's got a question. Go ahead, Tracy.
Yes, real quickly. I just wanted to understand the production value of the video.
Yes. Yep.
If you can kind of just speak to that. Are we on a stage, or are we just, you mentioned Zoom, which is, I don't know if that has a great production value. So is that going to be part of the judgment within that process?
No. I thought you meant the production value of the video that you would receive if you were chosen, but you mean the audition, the application. Got it.
Yes.
No, you don't have to go to any expense. You don't have to hire anybody or have anything fancy. It's really about your energy, your enthusiasm, and your delivery. So pretend you're in front of a really engaging audience and just give it all you've got as if. But if you're in your living room, you're okay.
Okay, great. I did have a second question. The membership fee, is it a rolling membership, or is it an annual, seasonal? So if we join today, would that be from today until next year today? Or is it? Yeah, okay.
It would start right now.
Yep. So you'll get a note from our chapter admin. So if you join today, this time in 2026, you'll get, hey, it's time to renew. We would love to have you back.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. And, let me encourage you to go on the NSA Michigan website, nsamichigan.org. Take a look at some of the events that we have already had and what's coming up. And you might find this is a really amazing opportunity just to learn more about running a speaking business.
Yes.
So,
great.
Thank you. You're welcome. How about you, Miss Chris?
Yeah. So, hang on. I look frozen. Here we go. I was gonna say I look frozen on here. Look, all right. Anyway, breakout speakers are actually on the main stage getting all the same benefits. We're not moving rooms, going somewhere else.
I'm so glad you brought that up, and I meant to do this. Okay, this is super cool. So there are 3 breakout rooms. 2 are in beautiful ballrooms that are separate. 2 separate other ballrooms. The 3rd room is the main stage. So the speakers who are the breakout speakers in that main stage will have that footage on the main stage. And the other breakout rooms are beautiful, but of course the stage will be smaller. And so what we were able to negotiate is double footage. So there will be 4 of the 6 breakout speakers who will be in those other rooms. They will get 45 minutes of footage because breakouts are 45 minutes. Those will be in those smaller ballrooms. And because we want everybody to have main stage footage, they will get to come to the main stage for about 10 minutes and do anything they want for 10 more minutes that will be videotaped and also given to those speakers. So 4 of our speakers are actually going to get double footage. Now, the room won't be filled with meeting planners. Those extra 10 minutes are there might be a few people milling around, but it will be during some downtime where we were able to finagle a little bit of extra video time. It's not going to be obvious though. When people watch that video, it's going to be zoomed in on you. It's going to have that big, beautiful LED wall with your graphics and all the things, your name on the back, and nobody's going to know that that was an empty room. And we actually hired we actually brought in a gentleman to NSA Michigan who talked to us about speaker reels and all the things that you need to do to have a good one. And he showed us a video of a gentleman whose speaker reel was shot in a completely empty room on a much less appealing stage, but he was engaging to nobody. He delivered a really powerful message to nobody, and it was chopped up and put into the speaker reel, which he then utilized to make $500,000 in speaking that first year. Can I guarantee it? No, but you get the idea. So yeah, if you're a breakout speaker, you'll either be already on the main stage, and if you're not on the main stage, you'll get extra footage on the main stage as well.
Okay,
Does that
because
help?
that was my question is if you're in a breakout room and everybody's
Mhm.
splitting and
Yeah.
you're not talking to 100 people now.
Nope. All the breakout
Okay.
speakers will have a third, most likely, you know, if you divide
Okay,
the
all right.
audience.
I just wanted clarity. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that good question. Julianne, thanks for putting your hand up.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Thank you
Glad you're
very much.
here.
This is just wonderful. I wasn't going to come, and I'm so glad I did.
I'm glad to.
Question for you.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting real clear on the target audience will be this organization strictly meeting planners. So there won't be a meeting planner like from Ford Motor Company or Costco. It's just this organization of meeting planners.
Nope. I'm going to stop you. Can I stop you?
Yes, please.
The meeting planners could be from any number of segments of the meeting industry. So
Okay.
they could be corporate from Ford. They could be association from American Heart Association. They could be nonprofit meeting planners. You know, there are lots of different segments that are all going to be invited, and they're
Got it.
all members of MPI. And oh, I forgot to tell you this. In addition to meeting planners, there are going to be people who are salespeople at huge venues, like big hotels that have events. There are going to be destination marketing organizations and DMCs there. There are going to be just different video people there. But the coolest thing is they're all part of this club, and they will refer speakers. And I didn't know until recently how important it is to know all of those people, not just the planners, but the people who work with the planners.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Did you have more to ask? I interrupted you,
No,
Julianne.
no, that's great. It's just what I was going. Thank you. Read my
Okay.
mind. Thanks.
And then
All
Julianne,
right.
there'll also be suppliers there.
Mhm.
And we'll have an option for other members. So even if you are not speaking at the event, but you want to go as a speaker to network, I think it's going to be like $100 or something.
Yeah, about 99 just to get in the room if you're not
Yeah,
speaking.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we really didn't talk about that, but it is not uncommon for our members to say, "God, I just wish that my family could come and hear me speak somewhere cool. I just wish that this other speaker that I know that wants to know if I'm any good, I wish that they could hear me speak somewhere that's prestigious." Or sometimes people will wish that, you know, they could bring in like a speaking bureau, you know, somebody who hires speakers, you know, by the bulk and sells them and, you know, helps them book gigs. You can invite anybody you want to come to this and buy a ticket and see you do your thing. So think about the potential for that as well. And there will be speakers bureaus who are going to already be invited to buy a ticket and to be in that room. So they're part of the industry as well. So Miss Jackie, nice to see you officially.
Thank you so much. Very nice to meet you officially as well.
Thank you.
And first of all, thank you so much for the wonderful section. Wow, what a preparation.
Thank you. Our pleasure.
And my quick question is for our MIDI chat here, is it possible to save it? Because there's a lot of helpful information here.
That's a good question. Mimi, do you know how to save the chat?
Yep. So I believe Jackie, if
moved it.
you roll over, and I think we gave access to it. It should be, did we give permission to save the chat? Because normally there's
Oh,
3
I
dots.
have it. I
Oh,
see
okay.
save chat. So if you guys go up to the top, do you have 3 dots?
Over in your
Okay.
box of your name.
Well, this says NextGen Meetings Conference pre-application meeting. Okay, wait a minute. Participant can share chat with everyone. Yeah, it's checked. So there must be a way. Does anybody see it? If not, oh, there we go. Participant asks you to start meeting summary. Okay, I'll hit yes to that. Julianne, do you have an idea?
Yes, down at the bottom, with the participants, the chat, AI app, there's a transcript. If you click on, does everyone's kind of see it's like a little piece of note paper? I just clicked on it, transcript, and it has everything that we've been saying so far. And then down the
Oh,
bottom says save transcript. I haven't done this in quite some time, but then it goes to your, I don't know, it goes to like your Google Drive and it'll have your transcript there. So that's just a thought.
thank you. It looks like that starts recording when you click it. I'm not seeing anything before that. But what I can say is I do have the option on my end to save the chat. So I'll think of a way to get it to you guys. I think I've got all of your emails. And if that would be helpful, I'll just download it and send it over. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You know what? How about this? Just to be double sure, put your email in the chat if you would like me to send you a copy of the chat, and then I'll know for sure to do it. In case I don't have your emails. Yes, they've changed that. I've been looking for that a lot lately, the chat saving. Jackie, did you have another question?
Nope, that would be
Okay,
the wonderful meeting.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you were here. You know, friends, if you are from Michigan, you might know each other, you may not. But Jackie is in California and has already joined NSA Michigan to submit an application, which she already did, which is amazing. And Eamon is over in Northern Ireland and he plans to send in an application. The value is amazing. So I'm glad that you recognize that. All right, Dana, hi.
Hi. Hi, no pressure. No pressure. I've got to get my application in. I'm
Yeah,
only in Traverse
me too.
City. Impressive. That's impressive, Jackie and
Amen.
Eamon. Thanks for having us. Thanks for doing this. I have a question about if you're interested in emceeing for this event or in the future events.
Yes.
So when you go to the application, I'm like putting all my info in, and then I get to the next step and it says topics and it says breakout. It doesn't, so I don't feel like there's a space yet for describing yourself as an MC. So I guess that's the question of the hour. If that is the interest, when I go through it, I'm like, what do I do? So I
Okay.
stopped and then I reached out to you and here we are
Thank you.
to be on this call. Yeah.
Okay. I believe if you keep clicking through, there are several pages to the application. I think you will get to a spot that says, you know, choose the types of speeches you are interested in giving. And I do think you'll see MC, TEDx, breakout, and main stage. If I'm wrong,
you can't
can
continue. Yeah, because the fields are required. Yeah, that's why. So that's what I'm understanding. But again,
Okay.
just unmuting myself, sometimes you're like, did I do it right? So yeah, right. So you say your name, you do your bio, and then I feel like, oh no, I have to be a keynote or a breakout. So just something to ask and think about.
Yeah, I will get back to you specifically on that because
Yeah,
if you're
cool.
interested in MC, we want to know that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
made a
for
note
in
of
the
that.
future or whenever. Yeah.
And
I don't know
have
if it's
your
going to
email.
be this month
Okay.
or this year,
I
but yeah.
Okay. I filled it out,
Just
but it's been a little while and I can't remember offhand. So thank you for bringing that to my attention.
You're
I'll be sure to
welcome.
let you know. Good one. Yeah, MCs, folks, if you have an MC inside of you, this is such a good opportunity to invite that MC out and just go for it because the amount of times that you will be seen, right? It's pretty constant throughout the event. And so, and that's not for everybody, right? And that's something to think about. What is your business model? What are your goals? And how will these opportunities fit? Because let's say that what you really want in life is to be a corporate trainer. You know, you want to get into GM and teach them something on their turf. The breakouts would be ideal for that because you're doing things, you know, you're teaching skills and you're implementing exercises, and you'll have video of people filling out stuff or doing whatever it is. And that will be really useful if you want to market yourself in that way. So just keep that in mind as you're, you know, selecting things. And you can select all the boxes. You know, you could be considered for all the boxes. There's also going to be a space where you can say which days you're available, because you might be on vacation for one of the days. And if that's the case, check the day that you are available, and we will do what we can to plug you in. It all depends on the flow of the, you know, how it all breaks down, but know that we will try to honor that as well. Any other questions? Yeah, Lorena. Oh, and you know what? Before I call on you, we need to recognize the fact that Josie Ann Lee figured out how to raise her hand. Where are you? Round of applause. I have a hard time with that too. Way to go. All right, Lorena.
My question is, with the application, can you start it and save it, or do you have to finish everything in one sitting?
That's a good question. I haven't tried.
Can say something quick, or when I was trying to figure that out, right? I did the first page, and just now, Lorena, I went back to try to practice, and it remembered my bio, my name. You know what I mean? The computer did. I don't know if it saved some, right? Yeah. Somehow AI knew I was back trying to solve that part. So something to say from one person with the last name Black to another. Okay.
Gotta group up.
Appreciate you.
Get it. But it remembered it. It remembered it. So yeah, I thought I'd just throw that in. So
I don't know the actual answer. So what I would say is screenshot every page as you're applying, just in case. Probably a good idea anyway. And then you could always go back. I don't know the answer. I will find that out. So I will find out the answers that need to be learned and post all of that. Let's see, what day is this? I'll probably post that on Thursday. And that will be on my LinkedIn page. So I'll give you a link. If we aren't connected yet, let's do that. And then you'll see the answers. That's probably the easiest way to get that out there. I know that I will also be, you know, emailing people some of the other stuff like the chat, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to have all of that in time. So let's just say for sure, if you follow me on LinkedIn, just know that I am going to post the answers to the things we didn't know on Thursday. And here's that link. So any other questions? You know what I would really love, if you guys are open to it, is we can stop recording and just turn on our cameras and take a group shot and put it out on LinkedIn and just tell people what a good old time we had. We are going to post the recording too, so you better be smiling. But anyway, is that okay? Would you guys be willing to do that? Okay, cool. And are there any other questions before we turn off the recording? This will be out there for the world to see. So if you want to share one last question that might be helpful, now's your chance. Okay. I am going to figure out, I can tell I haven't done this in a while, how to stop the recording. Here we go. Okay.